This place is super popular during peak flower season for the prolific yellow flowers that cover the hills. Now that peak season is over, it is still busy, but less so, and many people just stop for the Columbia River overlook instead of hiking the trails across the street. This trail has quite a few options, and we chose to make a big loop of both hills. Both have great views, including the Columbia River, and, on a good day, Mount Hood, the tallest volcano in Oregon, and the tip of Mount Adams, the second tallest in Washington. Marsh Hill was first, and it is a bit more relaxed climb. Chatfield Hill wasn't bad, but it was a bit steeper, and there was one really slick area on the way down that made us wish we brought our hiking poles. This park sits right at the transition between lush coastal environment and dry desert, and you can feel it. Instead of tall trees, we have these stumpy oaks, but they still have a wisp of that signature Pacific Northwest moss clinging to their trunks. The views were great, but it was really the wind in these fields that made this hike special for me. The grass was chest high, and it felt like the entire field was dancing and pushing you to sway with it. It was like the ghost of ocean waves would rush across and blow right by you without sending you flying like the water would. It seemed magical and felt amazing on a warm day. These are the native lands of the Chinook people, and the name Memaloose comes from their language. It roughly translates to death or corpse, but don't worry. It is referring to the island below us in the Columbia River, not this area. The island served as a final resting place for the bones of their dead, which were kept in canoes or large wooden containers on the island. Lewis and Clark spent some time in this area and wrote about the island, as well as the incredible quantity of salmon in the river. Today, most of this island is underwater, due to the dams that control the river, and the salmon are still here, but in much smaller quantities. The Columbia River is one of the country's critical shipping routes, transporting more wheat than any other port in the U.S., and huge quantities of corn and soy, often for export to Asia. Cargo moving up and down the river has to get around the series of dams. Each dam has both a series of locks and a separate fish ladder, so there are parallel fish and boat highways. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. There are hiking resources below and information on free ways to help support this channel. The easiest is liking and subscribing. Thank you. Happy exploring.